Hello, everyone. This is Rick, and welcome to Astral Club. This is Interview with Toth, the Egyptian god of wisdom and writing. Before we get into it, I just want to mention Patreon. If you'd like to support the channel, you can certainly do so on Patreon. When you join, you become eligible for advanced podcasts, the chat function, and a direct mail where you can ask me questions. And if that sounds like something that you're interested in, just go down to the description section and click on the Patreon icon. Next up, private astral projection lesson. If you'd like a lesson to learn how to astral project or just to improve your current abilities, be glad to work with you. All you have to do is go down to the description. There's an email there. Just send me an email asking for more information. Okay, this episode is at the request of Astral Club member Ralph Rodriguez. Thanks, Ralph. Once again, this is the interview with Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom and writing. The sun had barely risen over the horizon, and the Nile River shimmered with the first light of dawn. Amid the ancient sands of Egypt, I stood in the heart of the astral temple of Thoth, the god of wisdom, writing, and magic. The temple walls were made of beige sandstone with red highlights. Large pillars lined the main walkway supporting the ethereal temple. The walls offered colorful depictions of the gods of Egypt in various activities, including consulting the heavenly scrolls. Burning torches offered moody lighting every 10 feet. Along the walls, there were thousands of papyrus scrolls squirreled neatly away in wooden openings of gigantic shelves made of some rich, hard wood. I was here to interview Toth himself. A figure approached from the shadows, his form regal and timeless. His head, that of an ibis, glowed with an otherworldly light, his large beak curving gracefully as if it had been carved from the very essence of the moon. His eyes, piercing, all-knowing, looked through me as if I were but a fleeting thought. Toth, the god, stood before me, his aura both serene and powerful. "Welcome, mortal," Toth's voice echoed in my mind, soothing yet distant. "It is rare that one of your kind is permitted an audience with Toth. You are fortunate to have the countenance of other gods." Toth was referring to the goddess Hecate, whom I requested to act as an intermediary to set up this meeting. I'd tried multiple times by myself to reach Toth, but failed when I hit a wall of some sort every time. I bowed slightly, though I knew it was futile to show respect to a being of such grandeur. "It is an honor, Lord Toth." It's always a good idea to lay it on a little thick with these types of entities. You get more with sugar, right? Or more with honey than you do with vinegar. I said, my voice was trembling with awe. This was a very interesting sight before me. It was also his aura, too, that was just magnificent. "I've come to ask you about your wisdom, your magic, and the secrets you hold within your vast mind." He nodded slowly, a glimmer of what might have been a smile passing over his beak. It's an odd sentence. "Wisdom is not a thing to be given freely, nor is it a treasure that can be unearthed by mere hands. It is the product of the eternal dance between time and understanding. It is forged in the silence of reflection and the light of experience." I considered his words. How could I begin to fathom the depth of such wisdom? How does one gain wisdom then? Is it through study, through life experience, or perhaps through magic? "Magic," Toth responded, "is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. It is the language that connects the two worlds. But wisdom Wisdom comes from knowing the nature of the world, not just its surface. To understand the dance of the stars, the flow of the river, and the turning of the seasons, this is the true source of wisdom. I nodded, digesting his words. And what about writing? You are called the god of writing. Is there a special power in the written word? Toth's eyes sparkled, as though he was amused by the question. The written word is a reflection of thought, a crystallization of what is fleeting. Through writing, a mortal can capture the fleeting moment and anchor it to eternity. To write is to command the flow of time. It is a mirror that shows both the past and the future. For what is written today may be read by one who comes along long after you are gone. He paused, and the silence hung in the air like a spell. But be warned, mortal, he continued, his tone turning more serious. The written word has power. It can shape the soul of a people, create kingdoms, or destroy them. Words are not mere symbols. They are living things. I felt a chill run down my spine. And magic? I asked, hoping for some clarity. Is magic part of the knowledge you hold? Magic, Toth said, his voice taking on an even deeper resonance, is the art of shaping the world according to one's will. It is the knowledge of hidden forces, the currents that run beneath the surface of the visible world. But even magic has its limits. It must be wielded with care, for it is the fabric that connects the cosmos. One does not play with magic as one plays with toys. His gaze softened as he looked at me, and I sensed a deep, ancient sadness beneath his words. Magic requires balance. When one disrupts it without understanding, chaos follows. Even I, the scribe of the gods, cannot escape the consequences of meddling with forces beyond my control. I swallowed hard, a sense of humility flooding over me. I understand, I said softly. What is the greatest lesson you wish to impart to humanity? Toth's eyes seemed to brighten as he looked up, as though he were gazing beyond the temple, beyond the earth itself. The greatest lesson, he said, is that knowledge is not an end in itself. It is a tool. Wisdom is not something to hoard, but something to share, to use for the greater good. If you seek wisdom only to elevate yourself, you will find yourself alone. For wisdom is a gift meant to bind people together, not separate them. How can a human call upon you for aid? I ask. Long ago, when the sun disk ruled the land, the Aten was depicted with small ankhs at the end of its rays, which extended down to the sacred royal family. The ankh symbolized the purifying power of water. In those days, my name would be called upon to anoint the pharaoh by pouring a stream of little ankhs over his head to cleanse him. This cleansing offered him a layer of protection under my auspices. The wearers of the ankh who call upon my name when the Lady Isis is in her full glory will reap similar protection. I felt all his words sink deeply into my soul. Thank you, Lord Toth, I said, feeling both humbled and enlightened by the encounter. You may leave now, Toth said, his voice echoing in my mind once more. But remember this: the path of wisdom is a journey, not a destination. Walk it with an open heart, and you will find your way. I returned to my body. Okay, well, that was the interview with Toth, graciously arranged for me by, I guess, my patron goddess Hecate at this point. If you have any questions, any comments, any questions you would have asked, or any answers you found were fascinating or you'd like more explanations on, why don't you go ahead and leave some comments and questions down in the comments section. I always enjoy the conversation there. This is Rick, and I will see you on the astral plane.